Hey all, hello and welcome back, TonyBing here. For this test centre video I shall be having a look at Ultron. Now he was updated earlier on today, that's the 2nd of December, and with those updates the bandwidth mechanic was removed. It still shows in the UI, but your talents no longer take up bandwidth, and also you had quite a few tweaks to his summon build that have really smoothed it out a lot. So let's have a look. We'll start off with the first tree, which is Destroy. Now with this tree we won't actually see that many changes. It's really the summon side of things and the talents that are going to mix things up a lot. So looking at this tree anyway, we start off with Operation Blast, which is your basic range attack, nothing's changed there. And then we have Detonation Drones, which we can now actually use on demand without any need of a specialisation or a talent. I'll activate them now, there we go, nice and easy. On the 8-second cooldown, no worry of having to select certain options or use a certain amount of bandwidth, so that's great. And we then have Operation Irradiate. This now has a cooldown, which means he no longer does his breakdancing, which is a little bit disappointing. And we then have Ensep Halo Beam, my personal favourite. If you've seen my Ultron build, you'll know why this is my personal favourite. And next up we have Overcharge Blasts, which is your main range spender, and we follow that up with Energy Overload. And it looks basic this now, but once we get to talents these skills will change up a little bit and gain some of their utility back. Next up we have Operation Annihilate. This is our vulnerability range skill. And then we have Operation Swarm. The damage in this is buffed by damage to summoned allies. It has a 100% critical hit chance, and this redirects all your summons. So this is kind of one of the staple moves of a summon build. And then we finish up with We Are Ultron. So this is just the same, it's calling in all these little Ultron drone heads doing various damage there. So let's have a look at the next tree, which is Conquer. This is based around more physical melee moves. Now the first skill we look at in this tree is his dash, so Operation Dash, all very simple there. And following that up we have Operation Crush, which is the same as it is on live before you start to modify it with specs or talents. And then we have Concussion Blasters, which is your area vulnerability attack. We then have Melee Strike, which not surprisingly is your melee attack, and that is a basic. And we then have Operation Smash, which has a 100% brutal strike chance, 8-second cooldown on that. And we follow that up with Force Blast, which is just another regular melee attack there. This one will be a spender. And we then have Operation Slam, so this is an area, lift the enemy up, slam them down, and you're kind of knocking them up and immobilising them for that 1 second. Now you've noticed I probably missed one skill here. We now have a new skill, which is great. This is air support, so ranged area. It says Starship, so it looks like they've pulled this straight over from Star-Lord by the looks of it. The animation is currently bugged, so there is no point in me attempting to show it off because there is no animation there. Now this skill will gain a bonus from summoned ally damage, so that's certainly very nice, and it looks like the summoner build will once again be viable, which is great. But let's look at the talents and traits now. Okay, so now we will look at traits first. So offensive trait, there's an incorrect tooltip here. It says Ice Mutation. However, I believe with the focus on Ultron being a summoner, that the summoned ally damage bonus will hopefully be correct. The archetype is Adept, which makes sense. It's durability and energy attributes he gains from. For the defensive trait we have Indestructible Shield, so projectile reflect chance 20%. Archetype is tough with defense and deflect rating multiplier, and we also have close quarters for the 8% damage reduction. Now for talent line number 1 we have Gravity Projector Overdrive. So Operation Crush launches 2 additional projectiles and increases physical power damage by 10%. That's the same as it is on live. And then we have improved survivability. So with this you regenerate 100% of your health and power when defeated, and you also restore 10% of max power per second and gain an additional 2100 health. And finally, now onto the summon side of things, we have Prodigal Sons. So while in combat, 3 enhanced blade drones will join the fight. Previously you had to have this on your bar to activate. Now they activate through regular skills, which is fantastic. It opens up the option of using a lot more active builds on Ultron. I'll show how that works in just a moment once we get to the other summon skills. We'll actually show them all at the end, how many summons you can have at one time. Now for talent line number 2 we have Mind Eraser. This buffs the trusty Incept Halo Beam, my favourite skill from Live. It gives it the huge 400% damage rating and a 4-second confuse. And next up we have Legion, so air support, which is a new skill here. This now calls in 2 additional drones, and also detonation drones calls in 2 additional drones as well, this skill here, so that would give 5 in total. We'll activate that to look at it later. And then we have Reboot, so when you use Operation Annihilate, the cooldowns of Operation Swarm, Incept Halo Beam and Energy Overload are instantly reset. Operation Annihilate of course is, let's see, it's this particular skill here with the 8-second cooldown. For the third talent line we have Covering Fire, so while in combat 3 enhanced range combat drones will join the fight. So let's click on this to show off at the end. And then we have Focused Microwaves, so Operation Irradiate transforms into a far-reaching forward blast that applies an additional damage over time effect. There's that there, same as Live. And then we have Retrofit Servos, so Operation Smash gains the following effects: damage bonus 400%, maximum free charges, and if you look at this skill it actually has a 100% brutal strike chance, so for a melee build that could do an absolute huge amount of damage there. That could be very nice. Now for talent line number 4, Energy Overload transforms into Yank. This is completely new, so we'll click here, we can see that changing. We'll run over and activate it. There we go there. And actually there go all the drones getting summoned. I was saving that for the end, but that's been spoiled. But let's move over here. We will preview them once again at the end of the video. Now next up we have Energy Overcharge. So Energy Overcharge gains the following effects: total damage 20% of remaining power, critical hit chance 100 and power cost 100. So in order to use this you want to have as much power as possible, because when you fire off this skill you then need to regain your power back up to the point where you can use your spender. I have played around and I was able to do that, so that's a potential interesting build there. Now lastly in this tree we have Relay Target Coordinates. So Operation Swarm gains the following effects: reduce the cooldown of detonation drones and air support by 2 seconds, and drone damage bonus 25%. Let's select that as well for this summon build we'll show at the end. And for the final line we have Second Coming. So we are Ultron bonus effects. Number summoned is 2. We're Ultron of course as a signature. And this will buff your Ultron drones by 50% and reduces the cooldown by 5%. So let's go for that as well. And then we have Pulsing Wrath. So Operation Irradiate gains the following effects: continues to pulse around you after use, damaging and weakening targets every 6 seconds, damage reduction 30% and restores power. I'll actually show that skill off. There we go. This could be very nice for melee builds I believe, and increasing survivability. And the final talent we look at is Maximum Force. So 15% chance when you use Melee Strike or Force Blast to trigger a free activation of Concussion Blasters. There we go, very simple. Now looking at my toolbar, this is the first really big update to Ultron with the summons, and there are some bugs. And if we look, detonation drones is actually bugged here. If I drag it onto the bar, it's still greyed out. So unfortunately we can't see them when we're firing off all our Ultron summons, but we will go in and I'll show them off to you. So let's go over here. There we go. Now also imagine on top of that, for a summoner build, your 5 explosive drones coming up out the ground and your 3 flying drones as well. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to really get to grips with that particular build. I reckon I'll be moving from my energy build on live to a summon build. But I hope this video was useful, and I shall see you all again soon. Now,